In a forgotten stretch of rural America, the earth had turned to dust beneath the feet of an old farmer named Thomas. The sun had scorched the land for weeks, and not a single drop of rain had dared fall. Still, Thomas stood by it, because this land was all he had left. Each morning, before the world stirred, he'd sip a bitter cup of black coffee and stare out his dusty window. He didn't look for hope, he just looked, because looking felt better than letting go. His chickens scratched lazily in the dirt, skinny and half interested in eating, but he fed them anyway, because that's what a farmer does. He gives, even when there's nothing left to give. Out in the field, broken stalks bent in the breeze. The soil, once rich and alive, now crumbled between his fingers. And when he returned inside, a letter was waiting, a final notice from the bank. They were going to take it all. The house, the land, everything. He held a photo in his hands, a woman and child, smiling beneath the tree that once stood by the barn. His wife and his son. Long gone, not buried, just moved on. They needed more than this place could offer. He'd stayed behind, because he'd made a promise to the soil and to himself. That evening, when the sun dipped low, Thomas took a shovel to the back field. He wasn't planting, just digging, maybe to keep busy, maybe to feel something. He didn't know, until the shovel hit something solid. He paused, leaned closer, and brushed the dirt away. It was a box, rusted, heavy, buried deep. When he opened it, his breath caught. Gold coins, wrapped tightly in an old soldier's cloth. Real, untouched for decades. He stared at them, not with joy or greed, but with stillness, as if a forgotten story had just whispered back to life. He remembered tales his father used to tell, about a soldier who buried his riches and never returned. Back then, it was just a bedtime story, but now it was in his hands. And just like that, Thomas closed the lid and buried the box again, right back where he found it. Same spot, same earth, and over it, he planted a tree, not for the gold, but for the memory, for the mystery, and for something even he couldn't explain. That night, it rained, gentle, healing rain, the first in months, and Thomas, standing in the doorway, let it soak into his skin. The land began to change. Green crept back across the fields. The tree grew taller. The crops returned. And for the first time in a long time, so did hope. Children played beneath the tree. Visitors came to buy vegetables. No one ever found the treasure. But the story spread. They called him the farmer who buried gold and grew a forest. His photo made the paper, but Thomas didn't care much for that. He just sat on his porch, watching the wind move through the leaves and listening to the land breathe again. He had given it everything, and somehow, in the end, it gave something back.